wanted to increase my credibility, but in order to increase my credibility, I had to work with people, but then the people wouldn't work with me unless I had a page, So it was like this. I understand your predicament a lot. Okay, fantastic. In that case, let's go through a couple of experiments here. We're going to get into the lab right now. Okay, this is the content lab. First things first, you mentioned that you work with Surge, right? What is your relationship like with Surge? Do you guys talk on Zoom? Do you guys talk virtually at all? Because the first thing when you told me that is like, I know Surge. I want to see him on your page, if possible.
Yeah,
So
like you can check the results, you'll see.
okay,
See.
let's see. So I see this Discord message. Do we have do you like talk with Surge virtually at all? Like over Zoom or anything?
Yeah, I do. Like we have Zoom, even today we had a call. So we have like two weekly meetings and we chat a lot. Chat a lot.
Okay, let me look through all this before I say anything.
Mm.
Nice. Okay. Here's what might be this is going to be a good experiment here. Okay, is what I'm going to say. And let me know if you can see my screen too, because I'm going
Yeah,
to put this in
consistent.
a Google Doc.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I've been sharing the wrong screen the whole time. Sorry, Elijah. All right. This would be my number one thing. The one thing that you have that is super unique to you, Elijah, is that
Yeah.
you're working with a super credible founder. That's something that I am like. So I'll walk you through exactly what I would do, because I started making this page because I didn't have all that crazy credibility. I have a lot of experience, and I've been able to build pages of my own, but I've never been able to work with someone who is, very well known in the space, highly respected, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you do, first experiment would be, okay, this is like super, we're going to get super tactical, very simple, and then I'm going to give you a couple other nuggets. First thing I would do is say content manager for at Surge Guitari. That'd be my first line in the bio.
Yeah.
That'd be the very first thing that I would say.
Okay.
Because like it says, okay, I help entrepreneurs gain more premium clients through organic content. I would just remove it. Like here's
Mm.
here's who does this really well. Is the one guy that everyone respects, Sam. Right? I'm sure you're familiar with Sam Gaudette.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he has content creation, marketing, blah, 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 blah. But first thing in his bio is creative director at Dan Martell. So you could even do the same. Content manager at Serge Guitari.
Sure.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's going to be like our first thing. Again, this is, and chat, just so we're aware too. Like I'm giving this to Elijah because our goal, what Elijah has told me, is to increase credibility with the page. And then I'll give you, Elijah, some tips or experiments to actually grow in the engagement on the videos. But the beautiful thing, there's always pros and cons, and this is, I'm going to speak publicly to the chat here. There's always a pro and con wherever you're at in terms of your page. Right now, Elijah is sitting at, sorry, Elijah, I keep going off your page here. Elijah's sitting at 54 followers. To him, or for him rather, he might see that as a downside. To me, I see that as a huge upside because he hasn't shown his page to anyone right now, which means he has all the time in the world to experiment. And so right now, like this is a perfect opportunity for Elijah to try a whole bunch of stuff, see what works, also get his messaging right, get his positioning right, get his X, Y, and Z in order before people start checking him out. Because the opposite thing that could have happened is, let's say Elijah did blow up, but maybe he blew up for the wrong reasons. Well, now that's much harder to scale back than to inch forward. Does that make sense, Elijah?
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right.
100%.
My first thing that I would do is this. Content manager at Surgitari as first line in bio. He's very well
Mm-hmm.
respected in the space, at least for people in like the online marketing world.
Yeah.
And so that's what I would do. And then let's see here. Get your free content strategy, that's fine. DM strategy, okay, that's fine. Okay, so we have the bio, content manager for Surgitari. The first thing that I would do here on the highlights is, if you can, start grabbing, and this is, I guess, the second action to take, start
Mm.
grabbing photos or videos with the two of you talking or interacting. So this could be like a selfie of you two on Zoom. This could be a screenshot of you. Because here's the thing, like, such a positive way to look at it. Thank you, Cindy. Here's the thing, Elijah. When I look at this results here, like you took a photo of the Discord with Surge, but that to me, if I haven't spoken to you before, I might assume like, okay, you're just a person in his community. Like I'm not assuming that you're actually working directly with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the moment I can see some visuals of you and him together, now I'm going to, again, in your case, to increase your credibility, now I'm going to be like, okay, wait a second, this guy might, be a little bit more serious than I thought. So I would say start grabbing photos and videos of the two of you talking and or on Zoom. Something where it's clear that you're not just like a follower or a member of his community, but you're someone on his team.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be my very first thing. You mentioned you guys do talk on Zoom, right? Like the two of you time to time?
Oh, like I have all the call recordings, to be honest.
Cool.
We record all the calls, so I have it.
And I'm sure you've talked to Serge about your page, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
sure. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. The best thing that you have in your back pocket is not even just like talking to us in the chat here, but it's the fact that you have someone like Serge Guattari who you're working for. He knows about your page. Like, I would definitely, my first action would be talking to Serge and saying, hey, I want to, and you could even try this from a frame of adding value to him by saying, I want to increase my brand presence, however you decide to word it, so that I can uplift our brand, right? Like if you look legit, Serge looks even more legit. So framing it in that light of like, hey, I want to help you out by showing that I work with you, letting people know that I'm legit, and then as you make more content, gain more credibility. It's kind of a win-win. Same thing with Sam Gaudet and Dan Martell. Sam, as he makes more valuable content, and everyone knows that he works for Dan, it in turn also uplifts Dan's brand. Even though a lot of people know Sam because of Dan Martell, it also works in the opposite end. A lot of people, there are a good chunk of people that might find Sam Gaudet. They don't know about Dan Martell, but because Sam gives out such valuable video content, it uplifts Dan's brand as well. So trying to go in with that framing with Serge, saying like, hey, I want to uplift your brand by also uplifting mine. That's also going to help since I'm consulting with your clients. I think that could be a good approach. So third action would be pitching Serge about adding videos or proof of your relationship to your page, right? And the reason why I'm saying talking to Serge about this is because since you work with someone who is already like widely respected in the space and does know about your page, it seems like it would be in his best interest to help you with this, which means he might send like personal videos of him or stuff where it's like it's extremely clear that you guys work together and not just like you're just a bystander in a Zoom room. You know what I mean? Like he might. I don't think you guys have ever connected in person, right? It's always been virtual.
Yeah, it's really virtual.
But he might still he might send almost like a testimonial or like videos of him talking to you just to further prove that you guys work together. That would be my first initiative, and I might, as you're starting out, I might even have a highlight here that instead of calling this results, calling this Serge or like Serge Guattari, because again, you're at 54 followers. Like I would just try to, that is your biggest, I guess you could say credibility anchor if you want, is like, I work with Serge Guattari. That by itself, as soon as you said that to me, I'm like, oh, okay, Elijah's worth listening to. And so I want to, if I'm in your position, flood that piece of credibility everywhere I can. So I'm going to put in the first line of the bio. I'm going to put as a highlight working with Serge. And then again, if you do go through these like 3 action steps as the experiment, and Serge is on board, he might or you might be able to put together some sort of video that shows you two working together and put it right here on your pinned post. And what you could also do is, like, let's say Serge doesn't put together anything because I know he's a busy guy. You could also just do a case study story video. So I want to emphasize the idea of stories here. And so hold on. I'm going to like really emphasize this. What I would try doing, and again, this is the beauty of having 54 followers, is you can do this before people know you. And so when people discover you, it's like, okay, you're already super legit. You have everything figured out. I would experiment with adding pin post right here, explaining your story of one, it could either be you, how you started working with Serge, 2, how you were able to help him gain X amount of dollars from, you know, some of his YouTube content, or 3, like some of the biggest lessons you've learned while working with Serge. I would try to, since you are at 54 followers, I would try to flood your page as much as you can with stories about this specific position that you're in, because of a couple things. One, nobody else, I mean, granted, like the other content managers that work with him, I guess, but like there's very few people that can make a video like that. And 2, the person that you're working with, again, is someone who's of high regard. And so if I were in that position, like that's actually one of my goals, just so chat knows, and Elijah, one of my goals is that I think I know quite a bit. I won't say I know a lot. I'll say that I think I know more than maybe the average person about content. And so I want to apply the knowledge that I've acquired as well as the skills that I've developed with someone who's super credible. And then as soon as I can get into that position, I will be absolutely, first thing I'll be doing is flooding my page with that. Stories about how I met this person, how I was able to work with this person, how I was able to do X, Y, and Z. Right? And I have a couple of things just so the chat knows, like I have a couple things right now behind the scenes that I think are getting me closer to that. And that is 100% what I'm working on right now. I have some people who I've been talking to that I think are super credible in the internet world. And so I am, first things first, working on story videos I can make, really clear videos that show like either case studies or proof or some sort of anything really to leverage that. So hopefully that's making sense so far, Elijah. I know we haven't gotten into like getting more views or anything yet, but this would be the very first thing I would do is like, let's get the foundation ready. So I would do case study story videos. I would do a story video about how you met Serge. And if you want, like if you need an example of a story video, like if you're like, I can't really think of an idea here, I'm happy to share that one with you. But so far I've given you 5 steps or 5 like mini experiments to try. Are there any that you have any questions on, Elijah? Are there any that you want to talk through a little bit further? Because again, chat, I say this every time, I'm by no means an expert, but I think I can give you guys and Elijah experiments to try. So Elijah, back to you. Is there anything that you want to add here?
No, it's all clear up to this point. Like I've even implemented the first one.
Let's see. Let me refresh.
All right.
Nice. Okay. Chat, this is what I like to see. Okay. When I give you guys an experiment, Elijah, you get freaking bonus points, man. Come back to these streams as often as you want, because I like this. I like this speed of implementation here. So yes, perfect. Content creation, marketing strategy, that's fine. Content manager at Serge Utari, fantastic. Next thing, let's get a highlight going with Serge. And the first thing that I would do, again, the very first like picture of that Serge highlight or video should be the 2 of you immediately. So highlight, and then as soon as someone clicks that highlight, first picture is either a selfie with you and Serge on Zoom, or it's a video of you. Ideally, it's a video where you're talking, you flip the camera and you show that you're talking to Serge. Like immediately I want it to be known, okay, this dude works with Serge, you know? But yes, this is great. This is great.
100%.
These are truly live experiments. Yes, I love this, Elijah. This is perfect for us. Okay. What are your... So we have this one down. How do I strike through this? Let's see. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know how to strike through this. I'll just go... Let's just highlight this in yellow. So we did that. What are your feelings around experiments 2 and 3? Do you think that these are feasible?
Yeah, 100%. Like I'm even scrolling through my phone now to get like a video. I have it.
This is great, chat. Elijah might be able to do all of these experiments here by the end of the stream. This is fantastic. Okay, so you're gonna do 2. What are your thoughts on 3? Like, do you think you and Serge will be able to talk about getting some videos and proof of your relationship on the page?
Yeah, 100%. Like we sometimes when we have some good wins or have some ideas, like I just call him and speak to him. He calls me and speak to me. So it's very, very, like the relationship between us is very, very cool, right? It's not like client and operator. Nah, it's not like that. It's more like friends. So
the best part too is that you can, depending on like your level of involvement. I know Serge has had some pretty crazy... I haven't been following Serge as much lately, but I know when I used to follow him a lot, this was like pre-Cook AI. He was... Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he used to... Maybe he still does, but he used to do like a lot of these webinars. Like big launches for... maybe it was for Cook AI, but I know he was like trying to target... like 100K a month businesses. Am I mistaken with that?
Yeah, 100%. Like that's the ICP bucket.
Okay.
It because what Search sells, it's super high ticket, and even we have a package of up to 25K.
Okay.
Right. That's helping founders build webinars, and for the build and release package, it's like a 10K, 15K PIF. 7.5K.
Yep.
So it's like for founders, mainly the buckets of founders is from like 50K and above. So you have to be making up to 50K and above to make sense of investing in Search.
Reason why I ask is because I would love to see some stories around like how we either... Maybe not how we helped a client do X, because that's probably not your level of involvement, but right here, like how I helped Serge close X amount from a webinar, from content, whatever, from content. These are like, think of these as like bottom of funnel, almost case studies of your own skill set. I mean, these actually are just like case studies for Serge. But I'd love to see that type of content, because I know, like, just from looking at some of your stories, you've been able to help him get some great results on his YouTube videos. And I know Serge is printing from his content, and you could use some of these depending on the what types of results you've been able to achieve with him. I would love to see some stories around that of like, here's how I helped Serge close a 50K PIF deal with from a webinar, and then you talk through about how you helped. What's your level of involvement with his YouTube? Do you do like a lot of the thumbnails and titles? Do you do the editing? Do you do the strategy behind the video?
Everything.
Perfect.
If I don't do it, my team does it.
Perfect. So this is exactly... I would love to see stuff about how you helped Serge with his YouTube. And I'm assuming it's not just YouTube that you're helping with. You're helping with all socials, YouTube and Instagram?
Yeah, and the other accounts. So
I helped Serge with his Instagram do X, Y, Z. I would love to see all of these stories, because I know Serge is crushing it. So I know you have a ton of results. Like when I just write this down, are there any things that come to mind here? Any like cool moments you've had with him?
I'm just there's a video made on YouTube that made like that single video made like almost 250K. And there are also multiple videos that have made so much money. So, but like all those I can get.
Perfect.
It's because that I've never been able to like think in this direction, right? I was thinking of doing it alone, like not getting Serge involved. Serge knows about my page, but I have to grow this thing alone. Like I
Here,
never thought of leveraging the authority Serge has to kind of like build my own credibility.
here's the thing. You have, like, out of the two of us, you have, although I have like a lot of experience building my own pages, I have never been able to close 250K from a YouTube video. You have, between the two of us, way more credibility than even myself. And so if I were in your position, dude, I would be spamming the hell out of this stuff all day long. Like, you have countless, I could tell, you have countless amount of stories with him. I would be making like storytelling videos out of all of these, as many as you can. I try to do the same whenever I have something that I think is a cool achievement. But that is just so chat's aware. That's why I frame all of my videos as me not being an expert, me being a student, why I tell Elijah that this is an experiment. Because I have, although I've been able to, again, grow pages of my own, I haven't been able to close hundreds of thousands of dollars from content. This is the next level of what I consider content mastery, and I haven't achieved it yet. So as soon as I get to that level, I will be doing everything in my power. I'll be making carousels, I'll be making storytelling videos, I'll be making X, Y, and Z. But 100% I would try to get Serge involved, because if the more Serge is involved, the more I will trust you as a viewer.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people out there, and this goes for everyone here, I guess, maybe. But I've talked to, when I had a media company, I had a lot of clients who they would end up working with different vendors, and other vendors that had never talked to them before would start to take credit for some of their success. For example, like I had spoken to a client of mine one time, and this client had done particularly well on YouTube, and there were other vendors in even my local area that were taking credit for this person's success. And so the only way to combat that I've seen is to have video content of the two of you, and even having, you know, Serge. That's what I'm saying, like, as much video content as you can, try to make it as timely as possible. Try to have Serge, you know, give his input as much as you can. But yeah, unfortunately we live in this day and age where there's like a lot of people that claim to be experts or claim to have helped people that when they haven't. And in your case, you have the unique advantage where you are actively working for someone. Same thing like with Sam and Dan. Sam Gaudet, everyone trusts him because he's still actively working for Dan. And if we look at Sam Gaudet's page, and chat, sorry, I haven't given Elijah any, well, I guess I've given you a couple things to chew on, Elijah, but I haven't given you anything about like views or anything yet. If we look at Sam's page, he is regularly infusing Dan into all of his content. Every single second line that he has in his videos is about working with Dan Martell. Like if we just click on any of these, who am I? Dan Martell's creative director. It's in every single video, and then you'll see Dan Martell will, oh, did you not comment on that one? We'll see Dan Martell comment on his videos. We'll see him talking about Dan Martell. Let's see. Let's count for it. 1, 2, there we go. Dan Martell. And if I scroll down, here's Dan Martell again. If I scroll down even further, I'll see them collaborating together. This is May 30th. So like he tries to infuse Dan as much as possible in his content. Here's him talking about Dan. If you were to watch Sam Gaudet's last 200 videos, there's probably over 150 of those videos where he's talking about Dan Martell as the second line in his videos. And so if I were in your position, I would be doing the exact same thing. Start with your hook, and then my super hook or my second sentence is I'm the content manager for Serge Guattari. And then because Serge Guattari isn't as well known as Dan Martell, you could put images on the screen of like the 250K that he made from YouTube, or like all of the, millions of dollars that Surge, has made. You know what I mean? But I would use that in every single piece of content. Is I'm the content manager for Surge Guitari. That's why I'm saying try to get him involved with your page, and because if he signs off on it, like, yes, this is a good idea, you have full steam ahead, like, permission to use him as the second sentence in every video. Because without that, I might be watching this as a total stranger. Like, if I watch this and I've never talked to you before, I would never know that you worked with Surge Guitari unless I came to your page.
Yeah. I only say it in a few videos, but I don't say it so much.
I appreciate it, God's Last King. No, I would. That's why I'm saying, like, talk to Surge, say, Surge, here's what I want to do. And Surge seems like a cool guy. It sounds like you guys have a good relationship. Actually, I'm not even going to say seems. I know he's a cool guy. I've never talked to him personally, but I can just tell by his personality that he's super chill. I think if you had a conversation saying, I think me building my page will help build the brand of your company, I think he would understand that. Because, again, he's giving his clients to you to consult, and they might want to look you up and whatnot. So I would try to get him on board as quickly as possible. That way you have the permission to use him in every second line of your sentences.
Yeah, like we have a call tomorrow, so I'm definitely talking about this.
100%.
Yeah.
100%, man. That way, again, you can, like, okay, this is a good one too. Let's watch this.
To see results like this in 7 days on your YouTube channel, or results like this in 28 days, follow me. There's only 4 steps.
Okay, so like, this is a perfect example. Those 2 screenshots that you just showed, are those from Surge's page?
Yeah, 100%.
This is a perfect example. What I would do as soon as you get Surge's sign off is show that, and then show who you did it for. Immediately, it's like almost like a hook and a rehook. Now, granted, again, Surge Guitari isn't as well known as Dan Martell. I get that. But for people like me, the people that are interested in marketing, the people who do care about this stuff, or like the online space, or even, let me read up in your bio. Oh, okay, never mind. The entrepreneurs, the people that are trying to make money online that do know him, it's going to keep them. It's going to keep them around.
See results like.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
That's going to be my last experiment for you out of 9 steps. Once you have Surge's buy-in, use the sentence, I'm the content manager for Surge Guitari in every video. That way, like, people start to understand, oh, this is the guy that works with Surge. This is the guy that works with Surge.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can, every time you say that too, you could show, even though you say I'm the content manager for Surge Guitari, you could show an image of the results that you've been able to generate for him. Not views, but dollars amounts. Because you said you've helped him make $250K from one YouTube video. You could say, You could even say, like, I'm the content manager for Surge Guitari, and then show screenshot 250K from one YouTube video,
Yeah.
Or you could even just say visually, I'm the content manager for Surge Guitari, and I've been able to help him make $250,000 from one YouTube video. Here's how I did it. It's like, boom. You could even turn that into an educational video right there, where it's like, let's see if Sam's got one, just because I don't know what the hook would be yet. But you could make a whole video about how one YouTube video made $250,000.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna be doing those.
I would definitely use Sam as the inspiration here for how you frame your videos, because he's done a really good job of including Dan in every single piece of his content. He's always tying it back to Dan. Everyone views him as like the most credible guy on in this space. So I would definitely be studying how he approaches his content here. Same thing right here. Like he's saying 100 million view YouTube strategy. You could have an image here of Surge Guitari. You could have an image of like the revenue that you've been able to make him, that sort of thing. And you could talk about this could be your story of how you help Surge get 250,000 from one YouTube video. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Got it.
That makes sense. Any questions there?
Yeah. No questions.
Cool.
It's just me talking to Serge now.
Yeah, 100%. And then in terms of like actually growing with the content, I would say this is going to help you grow. But if you used it in your second sentence in every video,
Yeah.
So hold on. If you use this as your second sentence in every video, and then study Dan Martell, so you don't want to like, obviously you know this, you don't want to copy him, you don't want to like, you don't necessarily need to copy his like hooks or anything like that, but just study how he creates his content in terms of what that means tactically would be. What does he, what are his scripts consisting of? Actually, you probably would understand this, but like his second sentence, he always mentions Dan Martell. What are his videos consisting of? He talks a lot about YouTube. Okay, let me make YouTube one of my pillars of topics because it seems like you and Surge work a lot with YouTube.
Yeah.
So let me make some videos about Surge, and yeah, just draw some inspiration from. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean Dan Martell. I meant study Sam Gaudette. Because he makes. I have a feeling that a lot of his topics are probably similar to what you and Serge are doing. And so you could say, okay, let me make my own spin on maybe not the 100 million view YouTube formula, but let me make the 250K YouTube video. And then, tell your story. So.
This is fire.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else that you had questions on? Like, did you need any like anything else tactically? I'm happy to share anything in terms of like how view counts or follower growth or anything like that.
Yeah, I think with what you just shared, when I implement all of this, right, and get the ball rolling with Serge and me, I think I'm gonna get what I want, which is the credibility, and the followers are gonna grow naturally.
You will.
And it's gonna be the right people.
You definitely will. You have him linked. Having him linked in the bio is great. Having him in the highlights is great. Getting some pin posts on there with you and Serge is great. And then what you could also do too is with every call to action in every video, just tell people to follow for more. And that'll help. As soon as I started implementing that advice, because I used to hear people say that all the time online, and I used to be like, does that actually work? Like, when I watch a YouTube video and people say, hit subscribe, do people actually do that? And turns out when I did that myself and I tell people to follow for more, they do it. When I tell people to share, they share. All the videos where I've told people to follow for more, and maybe this is some value for you, chat. All the videos where I've told people to follow for more, or all the videos where I've told people to send to someone, if I look at my edits and I look at the metrics, the videos where I tell people to follow for more are the videos that have gained me the most followers. The videos where I tell people to send to someone who needs this advice or whatever, those get me the most shares. If I tell people to comment a keyword, those have the most comments. Like, don't be shy with the verbal call to actions at the end if you're trying to get some more follower growth. If you use the second sentence, the you work with Serge Guattari, and then the last sentence to follow for more, that'll be enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Good. Definitely experimental.
Awesome. Let me leave you with that last one here. 11 is use verbal CTAs at the end of each video. This is an experiment that you can try. Some people say not to do this or whatever. Every time I've done it, it's worked out. So
yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna try it, definitely.
I'm sending this to you right now.
Yeah. Thank you very much. It was so valuable, to be honest.
I appreciate it, man. If you ever have any other questions or you want to please feel free to come back to the streams and give us an update too on what happens. I'd love to know like what happens after your chat with Serge. At least keep me updated over DMs. I'd be curious to know how he feels about everything. But yeah, man, feel free to come back as many times as you want.
Yeah, sure. Next week, I'm gonna come back on this.
Good. Let's do it. Let's schedule it for next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back on this. All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.